Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question to the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
We shall do that. It is Coffee Ann here on ON AM and FM. It's Friday. It's November 11th. It's Veterans Day. A happy Veterans Day to you. It's the radio station's birthday today. Happy birthday to us. 76 years old today. Mm-hmm. And this is and Coffee Ann's been going strong since November 11th, 1946.
I haven't counted it, but it should be somewhere in the vicinity of 26,000 Coffee Anns since we started on this date 76 years ago.
We should get an intern and have them figure that out.
I did. It's on a piece of paper somewhere in the office. Yeah. I just didn't think of going and checking it out.
All right.
You just gotta. I figured it out for last year, and you just have to add all the ones we did since. And
all right, that's Dave.
It was 25,000 and change last year.
So it's gone up a little.
Right.
So that's Dave Richards. Good morning, Dave.
Hi, Joe.
And I'm Joe Callahan, and we're being joined by State Senator Melissa Murray.
Good morning.
And congratulations on your victory.
Thank you so much.
Recent elections.
Yeah.
She's
great to be back.
She's back. That's right.
And on such a historic day.
Yes, that's great. That's great. We're going to get into all the fun conversation, but Dave, it's time for your first message from the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce, our first segment sponsor of Coffee Ann.
In my email box, Joe, I see the invitation, the very attractive, spirit-filled invitation to the holiday open house for the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. They're back at Bally's Twin River Lincoln Casino Resort. Can't we just call it Bally's? Anyway, and it's on December 1st at 5 p.m. You will meet so many wonderful people there. It's always a very spirited and spirit-filled type of deal, and lots of things that you could come away with as well. But it's the big Chamber Christmas party. They call it Holiday Open House, but it's the Grand Chamber Christmas party there. It's coming up on December 1st, which isn't as far away as you think. In fact, it's 3 weeks from yesterday, right? 1, 2, 3 weeks from yesterday as I look at the calendar. Also in my email box, the Business Matters newsletter with your Eggs and Issues election wrap-up. In there, nice pictures of what the Eggs and Issues breakfast looked like before the election. And some folks, congratulations to We Share Hope on the opening of their third Fee and Future School Pantry in the city of Central Falls. That's kind of interesting to get up on it. They also have a nice little ad in there for the Northern Rhode Island Chamber PAC fundraiser. And then coming up, for those of you who like to look ahead, I know I just got my calendar for 2023, and I'm busy filling in dates that I know are important for next year. You might want to do the same. February 28th, 2023. Save the date for a signature event. It's the annual celebration.
Of what?
It's the annual meeting.
Oh, okay.
Of the Northern Rhode Island Chamber. But, you got to keep
the yearly meeting.
They got to keep changing the names up. I mean, it's no longer business after hours. Yeah, it's a mixing event, or that they keep changing the names on these things. But that's okay. I mean, none of that matters, really. The fact is that this is where you go, and you meet people who might be able to do your business some good, and you might be able to do their business some good. But you never know unless you intersect the orbits. And the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce is the great matchmaker among businesses in our area. You can call them at 334-1000, but not today. It's a holiday. Call them Monday morning at 9 a.m., 334-1000. Joe?
All right, Dave, thanks. First question we'll direct towards Melissa.
Why?
Why
are we going to pick on her? She just got here.
We're not picking on her. At least I don't think so.
Well, what a lot of people don't understand is that Melissa works in the office, and she's really great at what she does, and we're so glad to have her here. But the entire year, practically, she hasn't... Dave, she says, I'll record this ad. I said, no, because then we have to take it off during the election cycle and like that. And no, I'm sorry, Melissa, you can't come on Coffee Ann and like that. But
all the rules.
Yeah, all the rules and stuff like that.
We like to play by the rules. It's important.
Yeah. But as we start off here, we should just explain to everybody, you're not necessarily here because you're a state senator.
Correct.
And you probably would have been on Coffee Ann if you hadn't won re-election on last Tuesday.
Yes.
Yes. So that now that everybody understands what's going on
right.
here, that's the deal. We don't want, Roger Pickard or any other state senator saying, how come she gets all the gravy?
Because we like her better,
Yes.
Roger.
Oh,
I'm
well,
just kidding.
actually,
Roger and I have a fun going back
Yeah.
and forth kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because he keeps forgetting my name. It's kind of funny.
It's okay.
So, Melissa, what was different this year as you campaigned as from past years?
The year, right?
Well,
the date,
besides the date being
the
different,
date was the date was different. It's 2022, right?
was there anything different?
Yeah, I think it was a very different dynamic. I had never run one-on-one against a Republican opponent, so that was different. In other years, I obviously when I ran for city council, it was a multi-way race. It was nonpartisan, and then when I ran in my first run for Senate, I had a four-way race, and then in 2020, which was just a crazy year that let's forget about. I went unchallenged, but it was difficult. That was a strange year too, because it was like, do you knock doors or do you not knock doors? Like some people were like, oh yes, it's fine. And some people were angry at you. They don't want you to, be impeding on their personal space. So this year was, like a relearning curve after 4 years. And so it was a one-on-one and it was a hard fought race. But it's all about the ground game. It is all about the ground game. And that's the thing that never changes. I think for me, that's the thing that remains the same, is that it's all about knocking doors and meeting people where they're at.
Were people, I don't know, surprised, or did they know you were their state senator already and that you were up for re-election? Or were they-
Many didn't.
Okay.
Many didn't. And also the district had changed because of redistricting.
Okay.
So there were some folks that I hadn't seen
New friends.
since 2016. But also, there were a lot of new voters and new people who had moved into that district. So it was like starting all over again in that particular area. And then, of course, I lost, some supporters. That's what happens in redistricting. You lose a little, you gain a little, but you keep approximately, the same amount of people. But it's always a different dynamic.
So, when you campaign, going door to door that'll always be a constant.
It has to
For
be
you.
How
for
do you
me.
say?
It has to be for me.
Well,
But
others don't.
Others
You don't know
You're
what the future
right.
brings.
You're right.
But others don't. But you say this is.
I feel it's the right
you
thing
have
to
to
do
do this.
because obviously you can't. You'll always have somebody say, "Well, you didn't come to my door," or
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't home." But I always leave them a note saying, "Sorry, I missed you," to make sure that they know that it was actually me that was there. And you can't. It's impossiple. It's impossible to hit every door singularly.
It is,
So
yeah.
you just do the best you can. You try to hit a little bit in every neighborhood, in every precinct, and I think that'll always continue for me. Number one, because I enjoy it, even though it's exhausting. But also, like I said, people are working two jobs. People have children or grandchildren that they're taking care of, or they're taking care of a loved one, or they're just busy with their lives, and you have to meet them where they are at.
Any place where you went, to where you knocked on the door, rang the doorbell, and the first thing you hear is a dog barking? No,
All the time,
Yikes.
all the time, all
I'm
the time.
gonna take a
And
couple of steps
honestly,
back.
honestly, my first thought as a dog owner was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I disturbed your dog," because when somebody knocks on my door, which isn't often because I live on the second floor, but my dog goes ballistic, and the first thing I think was, "Oh, this dog."
got the dog out.
Right? And so I always, when you ring the doorbell, you knock the door, the dog barks, you're just like, I'm so sorry.
People they're not aggravated with you. Hey, you disturbed the dog.
No, but I mean, sometimes, and it's rare,
Yeah.
people are aggravated with you for knocking on their door. I had one person tell me they were not going to vote for me because I knocked on their door, but that's far and few
Well,
between.
That's tough to deal with that.
There's,
So
there's a lot of people with hurt in their heart, and they love to spread it around.
yeah. So all right, but it seems to work for you. So
It did,
congratulations.
yeah.
And how long is your term now for?
For 2 more years,
2 more
and then we
years.
do it all over again. And it seems like just yesterday, it was August, and I was walking in 90-degree heat, and I
Yeah.
don't know where my summer or my fall went. And all of a sudden, it's let's get ready for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So boom, here it is.
It comes quick.
Yeah.
I heard, Melissa, that Of course, your opponent this time was Craig Lockature.
Yes.
A guy we've known for a long time. You know, he's very active in the community. He's a businessman. He's a sponsor on the station, as a matter of fact, and we can put his ads back on now, Joe,
Yay.
because he had some that he had recorded in his own voice, and they had to go off the
Right,
air.
right.
All those complications were like that. But I heard that he called you
Yeah.
on election night and conceded.
Yep.
What a
Which is the
gentleman.
first. Which is
What
the
a
first time.
gentleman.
First of all, he worked very hard. He walked, and so he was out there working. And I have to hand
Well,
it.
nobody knew him as a candidate, so he had to present himself. Didn't
Yeah,
he?
it's what you have to do. You know, and we both worked very hard. Like I said, it was a hard fought, hard won race, and it was the first time that I had ever had somebody, you know, call and concede.
Wow, that was a very
People
nice
don't.
one.
People don't do that anymore.
Wow. Okay.
I have
Do you think
always
it's-
had.
You think it's because the outcome is in doubt for days? I mean, the final outcome is actually in doubt for days.
No, I don't.
No? Do you think
I
that
think
they
people
just don't want to do it?
People just don't want to do that anymore. But I have always had my opponent or my opponents in a multi-way race. What I do is, you know, the night of election night or the day before, you put their numbers in your phone because you may have to make that call to
Yeah,
any
right.
one of
But
them.
do you
So,
think if they're giving a concession speech, then that's just good enough?
I wouldn't
Well-
think that's for their supporters.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, because the first and foremost thing you do is you thank all the people
Well,
who
sure.
Right.
Did all the
'Cause
work.
Busted their
nobody even
butt
gets,
for
nobody
you,
even gets
right?
to election day without a lot of helpers.
Right.
Yeah, sign holders and people who walked for you and people who donated and people, you know, who, you know, just helped you along the way. From the person who held a sign in a very cold, very windy day, which it was, to like the person who drove around and made sure that everybody had donuts and coffee, like just everybody. But if I were to lose a race, I would make that speech first and foremost to my supporters who were there for me, and then I'd pick up the phone and I'd
Okay.
call. But like, folks don't do that on either side anymore, really.
No, that's
so
too- that's too
it's
bad.
not
But
a.
Craig Lockature did.
He did.
and
Kudos.
people should know that.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
That's important. All right. Last night, Dave and I were lucky enough to attend the Autumn Fest
yeah.
appreciation dinner for the volunteers of Autumn Fest, the steering committee of Autumn Fest, and for sponsors of Autumn Fest, which is why Dave was there, among others. And they made a very
Plus we
nice
volunteer.
announcement last night. Every year, Autumn Fest gives away a scholarship to local high school students, $500, but you know, it's something.
Yeah.
And so they decided, and this was a surprise. I guess the executive committee came up with this. They have decided to name the scholarship after Nancy Phillips because she has been a volunteer for over 30 years to Autumn Fest, and she was taken by surprise.
And she's
Dave.
an
So she didn't
educator,
know.
right?
She didn't know this was coming, and
That's
they made
wonderful.
that announcement last night. She got very emotional about it. So you could tell she was it was really through her. And you know, Nancy, she was at a loss for words, Dave.
Yeah.
She didn't know what to say. She was just flabbergasted that they bestowed
That's
this
such
honor
a nice gesture.
on her.
So nice.
So we were all very happy. The rest of us, it was the first time we all heard it too. So we were very happy that the Autumn Fest steering committee, executive committee, decided to bestow this honor upon Nancy Phillips going forward. So
Nice, very nice.
that was pretty cool.
There's a lovely little trophy that they gave her too. Mm-hmm. She headed up the button project this time, and it really
Yes.
ran smoothly.
Yes.
And all the button prizes got claimed before Thanksgiving, which is pretty
unusual.
good.
Yeah, and we're not still calling button numbers now. So that's
The last one was
good.
picked up last week.
Yep.
And so we're all done.
And she was happy to report that they give a little trophy to the business that sells the most buttons.
That's right.
They were not there last night, but Little General on Cumberland Hill Road sold
yeah.
400 buttons.
Wow.
in just that location. So it was congrats to them. I wonder why they get so many to buy from there.
Just busy, I guess. Or
Just busy, or
They
or they
offer 'em.
push it.
Yeah, right.
They
You
offer
know?
'em,
They
yeah.
don't just okay. Yeah, there it is on the counter if you want to take a look at it. But maybe the cashiers do say, "Hey, we got Autumn Fest buttons.
They're
It's only- it's-
they're still
it's
only a
It's
dollar.
only $1. So what do you think? So congrats to them for selling 400 buttons just in one location. So that's good for them. Dave, it's time for a second message from the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce, and then we'll take a break here on the Coffee and program.
Friends, the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce brings you coffee and conversation every Friday morning in the first segment. They will be closed in the offices today because of Veterans Day. However, we invite you to call 334-1000 on Monday morning at 9 o'clock and find out how chamber membership could benefit you and your little side gig or business or whatever you happen to be involved in. Joe?
All right, Dave, thanks. We don't have anyone manning the phones, so a little tough to call in comments and questions. But
I'll run out and get it if
all
somebody
right,
calls.
if you feel like calling in, 766-1240.
But ring
I'm
loud.
so upset at myself. The summer has come and gone, and I have not contacted Lance at Interstate Seal Coating to come take a look at my driveway. If you're like me and you put this off all summer, you have to call Interstate Seal Coating now before the real cold weather sets in.
Remember, when you want the job done right, from seal coating and crack filling to parking lot striping, it's Interstate Seal Coating at the sign of the seal. 349-9360. Call Lance today and he'll seal you tomorrow. All estimates are free.
Quality, compassion, community is Landmark Medical Center. But why choose Landmark? Here's why. You get the care you need without traveling far from home. Also, you'll receive heart care, wound healing, and preventative care and services. Plus, you get emergency care 24 hours a day, every day at Landmark Medical Center. Your community hospital is Landmark Medical Center, 115 Cass Avenue, Woonsocket. Visit landmarkmedical.org for more information. The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
We're local and live at 99.5.
It's Coffee and here on ON AM and FM. Joe Callahan here, along with Dave Richards and Melissa Murray. We'll be joined by Rich Lane a little later on from Post 85. And my brother will be calling in, talk a little high school football. This will be the first time, Dave, that a brother tandem is going to be calling the game.
Another historic.
Another historic moment here on
11-11.
ON Radio.
Yes, and we'll see what happens. So far, the game is all still ready to go.
It's a go.
And the forecast has improved for you this afternoon.
Okay.
In honor of that historic event, I'm sure. But when, what was it, Monday or Tuesday, Kevin and I were out at Macomber Field, which I had
Macomber Stadium.
Stadium now. Okay, that's right.
Central Falls.
Stadium, yeah. I had not been there at that facility before, so we wanted to check and make sure that we had all the technicals, that we could get a broadcast from there. And we were pretty happy that the folks down there couldn't have been more accommodating and nice and gracious, willing to do anything they could for us. But there's no press box. They've never built one, so they can't offer it to us. So we figured out all the logistics and everything like that. And Kevin's looking at me and he's saying, well, he said, now we just have to worry about the weather. I looked at him and I says, you are so going to get wet. Because at that time, that's what it looked like in the earlier part of the week. Even yesterday, it looked like you were be flirting with the vanguard of 2 inches of rain. But things have gotten better overnight. They're talking now of only an inch of rain and getting serious after 10 p.m., which means from 5 to 7 tonight while you're playing football, maybe a spritz, maybe a shower, hard to say, but not a torrential downpour.
Melissa, do you know where Macomber Stadium is in Central Falls?
I will admit I get very lost in Central Falls.
Okay, that's fine.
So I don't. So no, I
Well,
don't.
there's 2 main roads, just like we have
Broad
Social
and-
Street and
and
Pleasant.
I know, little side note, everyone I know from Central Falls that comes to Woonsocket says it's so confusing to drive around in Woonsocket and vice versa.
Oh,
Yeah.
So,
really? Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I bring it up only because Macomber Stadium is right next door or right across the street from the Wyatt Detention Center. So I certainly hope they turn on the
Right.
radio for the prisoners.
So these guys are going to
so
be...
we can wave.
There's no press box, so these guys are going to be standing in the stands on the visitors section, and directly behind them, 60 feet away, is the razor wire.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's
On the other
it's
side of
that
the little
close.
side street.
Yeah. So hi to everyone in the prison.
I was joking with your brother Kevin that I said, if you got cell 411, you could probably have a better view of the field. I don't know if it's vacant though,
And then
or
we'd
if
be-
they'd
we'd
let
be
you
of the
out
rain.
after.
That's right. No, we're really not prisoners. Sure, everyone says that. All right, so we'll talk with Kevin more about that when he calls in about 8:25. We did get a follow-up note from yesterday that talked about the they sent it a note, and I said, "Gee, I wish you could give an example of what they were talking about." And I don't have the original email, but the one word is communication. Negative side of this computerized world is what they were talking about, is the lack of people-to-people live conversations, which means to meetings, associating, and just talking with your fellow man is the lack of this that is fading in our society. People learn from each other. Computers, well, are just a machine. So I guess they just see
That's why
that.
you knock on doors.
Well, the humanity
right.
part is going away instead of just sending a text message, right?
That's right.
Much better to meet face to face.
Yep.
Amongst the younger crowd, he sees this as going away, and I can see that. I mean, I look at how my daughter communicates with how she just communicates with her friends and everybody, and it's all mechanical now. And if you tell them you need to grab your phone and actually talk to the other person on the other end, it's just so foreign.
It
It's
is, and
been that way for almost 10 years now.
And so when I'm going to date myself here, but when people started texting, when I got my first phone where I was able to text, or just and it wasn't even like a keypad. Remember, it was like to push the 1 3 times. Like kids just won't know the struggles.
That's right.
11122.
Yeah.
There were so many times where I found that my texts were misinterpreted, or you just didn't get the the sentiment behind. There's so much room for misinterpretation and maybe some bad feelings, or just not really getting quite the gist of the messages is the same as if you speak to someone. You can hear their voice and the intonation in their voice. But I wonder if the younger folks, if they have like almost like their own language where you can tell by the text what the tone is. Because I can't always, unless I really, really, really know the person. So it's just interesting.
That's possible because I've never heard her say that I misinterpreted a text from a friend. So maybe they just do, or just from knowing them, they know
Right.
what the text,
Right.
the meaning behind the text really is, as opposed to me and you. And I have done this before when I sent the text, and after the text, I'll put like ... By the way, this was sarcastic. So they actually know.
Right,
Oh, that's
right.
a sarcastic tone. Got it. Okay.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
is it going to go back to just all human communication? No. It's
No,
probably going to
no.
go in the other direction. That's the way it is. So, Dave, we got the Veterans Program going on today. If you're listening live on Friday morning, right down there on Davison Avenue, starts at 11 this morning.
It does. And the Human Resources Director, Linda Plays, is usually the point person on this, and she once again has done a fine job organizing the whole thing. There is a provision, of course, for going into the Museum of Work and Culture should the skies open up, but we are feeling more and more confident as the hours go on that won't be the case. So we're looking forward to that.
All right. And that's going to come up at 11 this morning. We'll have
We'll
it
have
live.
it on the AM and FM radio, on our regular audio streams, and we'll also be doing a video stream for those who just got to see what dress Melissa's wearing.
All right, perfect.
The same one as I'm wearing right now.
So, and just other things going on in the news. That girl from North Kingstown was found.
Oh, thank goodness.
And she, I guess, according to our news reports, got into a fight with her mom and ran away, which 12 and 13-year-old girls tend to get over dramatic sometimes, and that's what happens. And
that was
but what's
that
odd
was really
is,
scary. Really scary.
But what's odd is she went to a store and hid in the store. It's according to North Kingstown Police, and I guess the store doesn't have any kind of alarm system that would pick up like a motion detector,
right?
Because she stayed in the store all night.
Yeah, but if you're in the ladies' room all night, they don't put that stuff.
But
You know,
true, but who says
No
she stayed
cameras,
in,
no
but who,
motion
But who
detectors.
says she stays in that one area?
yeah, who says, right?
Right.
I don't know.
You move around because I remember back my Comp USA days, we locked up for the night, and I got a call because I was the closest one with keys that the motion detector was going off inside the store. And when I got back to the store, it was an employee
Oh my goodness.
that we had locked in and didn't realize it. And because why? He went to the bathroom, and then we lock him in. Everyone leaves. Then he comes out, sets off the sensors.
Right.
Someone's inside moving around. All right. So, but it is a good ending for that girl from North Kingston.
It is.
I know,
And
yeah.
She was reunited
And
with her
Melissa,
mom.
do you know that? Do you know how many votes you won by the way? Because there was an update yesterday.
I
late yesterday.
have not looked.
It's right here. You got 2298. Craig got 1726. It looks like you widened your margin on that. John Brian widened his margin. Election night, he was 50 votes
Yeah, 50
ahead.
votes.
Right.
Now he ended up 73 votes ahead with this latest update.
Wow, still close.
Yeah, and it didn't change anything for the city council, the mayor, or the school committee.
All right, great. Joining us on the phone right now would be my brother Kevin, as we're going to talk a little high school football right now. Good morning to you, Kevin.
Good morning, Joe. How are you?
Good. How are you? Dave's here and Melissa is here. Say hi.
Good
Hey,
morning.
Dave. Hey, Melissa.
And Kevin, Rich is entering the studio too, so say hi to Rich. Let's make him feel comfortable.
Oh, hi, Rich. How
Hi,
are
Rich.
I'm well. How are you?
you? Doing great, thanks.
So,
you settling in for this historic night, huh, Joe?
Yes.
You and I doing the broadcast?
Yeah, first brother tandem. I hope
The
we
Callahan twins. We're billing it as the Callahan twins.
I hope we don't fight. That's what I'm really worried about. But anyway, tonight's game is a Division IV. It's a playoff game tonight. First time ever, more historic, that we have Davies Vocational Career Technical High School has a football team, and this is the first game we've ever done
And you
for
might
Davies.
ask
Yes.
why on earth Davies?
'Cause they're in
Because
Lincoln.
all of the other teams we follow are no
Lost.
longer in the playoffs.
They all lost.
And Davies is in Lincoln. And what a lot of people don't know, the backstory, Kevin had put in a Davies game during the regular season
Yes.
into the schedule, but because of we had some make
Weather
goods that we
or
had
make
to
goods,
take
yeah.
care of. Right. Because of that,
They got bumped.
They got bumped. And now, hey, they're the last local team standing. So we got them tonight.
So we got Davies versus Central Falls Blackstone Valley Prep Co-op team. Is that correct, Kevin?
And you forgot Achievement as well, which is on the Providence-Cranston line. So you got the Central Falls.
Oh, there's a
Blackstone
third.
Valley
There's a
Prep
third school.
Achievement Club. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
And Achievement, I just found out, they've only been around for 2 years, but they actually have 5 players on the team.
Wow.
And they're only freshmen and sophomores.
Wow. Okay.
They don't play much, but they do have 5 players, whereas Blackstone Valley Prep has 3 players, and Central Falls has the rest of
The rest. Okay. So are they still is the Central Falls team? Are they still considered the Warriors?
Yes, they are.
Okay. And what's Davies' nickname?
They're the Patriots.
Patriots. Okay, there we go. So, how does this matchup look on paper right now between these two teams? Who's strong and who isn't?
I mean, Davies comes in at 6-2. Central Falls comes in at 7-1. Both teams lost to Smithfield, who's 8-0. They're playing this afternoon, Exeter West Greenwich in the other semifinal game. Davies lost to Central Falls earlier this year, 24-8. The interesting thing about that game is Davies was winning at the half, 8-0, and credit to Central Falls defense. That 8 points that Davies put up on Central Falls is the most that Central Falls has given up all year. So their defense is only giving up 4 points a game. Central Falls lost to Smithfield earlier this year, 7-6, and Davies lost to Smithfield last week, 16-12. So on paper, it's both teams average over 25 points a game. Both teams don't give up too many points. Davies only gives up about 12, and Central Falls, like I said, gives up 4. So it could be both teams like to run the ball a lot with a smattering of passing. Davies throws the ball a little bit more than Central Falls does.
What your forecast is for not a whole lot of wind this afternoon. So if somebody decided they're going to go aerial, that wouldn't be a factor necessarily in what's going on. And let's see. Let me check the direction of the wind that you would have. South, which means it'd be going from where you are toward the opposite field.
Towards the prison.
Opposite side of the field. So it'd be going across the field. And if you were heading from right to left from your point of view, it'd be going left to right. The wind would be going left to right, but only up about 10, 15 miles an hour today.
Now, Kevin, Davies, they've only had a football team for a few years. Is that right?
Yeah, this is the 4th year of their program, and this was one of their goals was to make the Super Bowl. This year, I guess last year they made the playoffs for the first time, and this year their goal is to make the Super Bowl, the Division IV Super Bowl, and, well, one win from now, they will have reached their goal of making the Super Bowl.
So
Henry Cabral, the coach, has
Yeah.
been the coach for all 4 years, and he's done an incredible job at Davies.
How many seniors are on the Davies team?
Davies is loaded with seniors. They have about 12, I believe it is.
Wow. Okay. So this is it's either this year or we start rebuilding next year, right?
Yeah, there's it's funny. There aren't too many juniors on the team, so it's a ton of seniors and then sophomores and freshmen.
So they might be looking at a situation like Burrillville's gone through this year, where they graduated so many seniors in 21 that here in 22 they were struggling.
Yeah, it could because one of their seniors is Antonio Cabral. He's the quarterback, and he's accounted for only 17 touchdowns.
Is that all?
He runs just
That's
as much.
more than Melissa Murray gets in an average game. Seriously, right, Melissa?
Everyone knows that I don't sports.
All right, so kickoff today is at 5 p.m. at Maycomer Stadium in Central Falls if you want to come down. And Kevin and I will be there to bring you the play-by-play and all the action. And
Bring your radio
and
because the signal comes in great down there.
yeah, and bring an umbrella just in case.
Just in case.
All right, Kevin, we'll see you down at Maycomer Stadium. Thanks for calling in.
All right, thank you. See you later on. Have a great night, everyone.
All right, take care. That's my brother Kevin. We're going to do the football game a little later on today. Davies versus the Central Falls Blackstone Valley Prep Achievement Team. I didn't know there was 3 teams there. All right, we're going to take a break on the Coffee and program. It's time for the weather forecast being brought to you by Five Below.
There is a 60% chance of showers today, mainly after 5 p.m. Mostly cloudy skies all day with a high of 70 degrees. Tonight, showers before 10 p.m. and then possible thunderstorms between 10 p.m. and 1 a.m. and a lot of rain after that, too. Some storms could produce gusty wind and heavy rain, patchy fog as well. Breezy conditions with a south wind up to 41 miles per hour and an overnight low of 61 degrees tonight. Your chance of rain is 100%, but the rainfall amounts have been reduced to 3/4 to 1 inch. Saturday's weather, leftover rain and thunderstorms before noontime and then gradually becoming mostly sunny with a high of 71 degrees, but very, very breezy. Winds gusting to 46 miles per hour during the day. Sunday, partly sunny skies and 53. Monday, sunshine and 45. Tuesday, sunshine and 44. Wednesday, a chance of rain or snow, partly sunny with a high of 47 degrees. Your chance is 50%. And on Thursday, mostly sunny skies and 46.
And currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street, where we have cloudy skies and 61 degrees. Give cheer to a child in need while checking out at Five Below in stores and online. Please consider donating to Toys for Tots this season and make a child's holiday special. Donate at Five Below today. Weekly auctions have returned to Trudell's Auction Gallery in Bellingham. Every Monday, live auctions begin at 10 a.m. Doors open at 8 a.m. for previews. Items change every week, so come every week. Furniture, comic books, trading cards, and artwork are just some of the items you may find. Visit TrudellAuction.net for all the details. Make plans to come to the best little auction in Massachusetts every Monday at 10 a.m. Trudell's Auction Gallery, 799 South Main Street, Bellingham.
Hi, this is Gary Smith. I hope you listen to our all-request music show called Do You Remember These? Saturdays, 4 to 7 p.m. here on ON Radio.
All right, it is Coffee and here on ON AM and FM. Joe Callahan with Dave Richards, Melissa Murray, and Rich Elaine. And this segment of Coffee and sponsored by the Valley Breeze newspaper, which Dave happens to have in his hands.
Yes, I do, Joe. I have 2 editions this time. They didn't clean me out before the show. That's pretty good. Well, I have the Cumberland Lincoln edition of the Valley Breeze in my hand right now. And, of course, there's a great story from Nicole Dawson-Rod from Lincoln talking about Town Administrator Gould and his first term as town administrator in his own right that he won for his self. And then, of course, right next to that, Ethan Shore's great story on Mia Ackerman celebrating another win on Tuesday. There's a great picture from Charles Lawrence there of Mia, the big smile, and her daughter Ellie right next to there. Somewhat controversial situation over in Cumberland as the land trust in Cumberland is searching for answers how to keep the ATVs off the trails on land they're trying to preserve as natural. You can read all about it in the Cumberland Lincoln edition of the Valley Breeze, as well as a great little sticker for consumers. Let's see what else we have. Oh, yes, the North Smithfield, Blackstone, and Woonsocket edition of the Valley Breeze, where the story to no one's surprise, Baldelli Hunt allies and her allies victorious. Zach DeLuca has the story with all the details. And, of course, you're enjoying when you pick up the Valley Breeze great photogs like Charlie Lawrence and this particular one from Bob Emerson. What an incredible picture. You got to see this on the Valley Breeze of Lisa Baldelli Hunt and Georgetta Gassi right next to her. And they look astonished looking at the totals
returns,
going up on
yeah.
the board right there. 2 new candidates join the council in North Smithfield, and Newberry defeats Jones. So there's a lot of election stories in there, but get the story behind the story. And also, a buyer envisions luxury project with recreation space for the public in the former middle school. Get all the details after that very long saga, and the sale finally concluded. That's all in the Valley Breeze newspapers, of course, with great ads. And may I just point out one more thing, that Diane McCarthy is one of the great ad sellers there at the Breeze, and she's the one that sends me little notes, and I'll just relay this to you, that it's time now to reserve your space in the fantastic Christmas in the Valley insert that the Valley Breeze puts in each and every year. It's the thing to get, seriously, and the deadline for that is next Tuesday, November 15th. Get a hold of your Breeze representative, or you can call 226-6325, or is it 334-9555, I believe, is the main number there. And this will go out on Thursday, December the 1st. Christmas in the Valley, they're taking ad space right now. That's the Valley Breeze.
All right, Dave, thanks. And as always, when Rich Lane joins us, we turn things over to him at about this time. And just to find out what's new at Post 85 over there on River Street.
Big party for you last Tuesday night. We were down there with John Brian.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was, I think I was kind of prepping to head down to Virginia, or maybe not, though. I think that was last
Well,
week.
I didn't see you there,
No, I
but there were an
wasn't there.
awful lot of
Wasn't there
people
for
there.
John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we caught up with John Ward there, too, and Paul Bourget, and then,
The whole crew, huh?
Yeah, and Don Burke. They were all down there in the function room at Post 85, and I figured if I mentioned that, I would say that the function room is available, not just for you guys for the functions for Post 85, but also for people to rent out and have some fun there.
Yes. And the funny part about that is that we can rent it out for private functions like that, but we're not. The American Legion doesn't allow us to endorse a candidate. So if a
Oh, yeah,
candidate-
well, I was talking about
but, yeah,
politics. I was
yeah.
talking about if somebody's having a big birthday party, they didn't want to have it at a house or something like that.
Oh, that's what it was.
Sure.
It was a birthday party. That's right, too.
Is that so?
It's a business trip.
It's a business trip. Yeah. Well, what's going on? Well, first of all, I'd like to dip into it. Well, first of all, happy birthday to all my, not belated because I wasn't here yesterday, but happy birthday to all my Marine Corps buddies out there. Yesterday we turned 247. I look pretty good for 247
Excellent,
years
I would
old,
say, I
huh?
would
Don't
say.
I? Good health. But, I'd like to talk a little bit about Veterans Day. First of all these local businesses in Woonsocket that do things for veterans on Veterans Day. They come in, and a lot of them are restaurants. Come in and have a free meal if you're a veteran. All you got to do is show your ID card, and if you don't recognize these people for doing that, they're just going to stop doing it. So if you're a veteran, go in, take advantage of the things that these businesses are offering you. And once again, thank you very much, all the local businesses. Us veterans really appreciate it. And as far as Veterans Day, I posted this, in fact, this morning on Facebook because a lot of people take a look at Veterans Day as being a somber day, and it's not a somber day.
No.
It's Veterans Day is a day of celebration. Memorial Day is the day
That's the somber day.
we honor, the veterans that have gone before us. And while on Veterans Day we still remember those, today is a day to honor those that are serving and that have served in our military. So, if you see a veteran, just say thank you. In fact, anytime you see a veteran, say thank you. We really appreciate that. And I know we got our historian here, Dave, so he's going to correct me if I'm wrong. But I did a little research, and Veterans Day For those of you that look back and forth and see like Armistice Day, well, it was known as Armistice Day, and that was because of the end of World War I on the 11th hour, 11th day, and the 11th month. And Armistice Day was established by an act of public law on May 13th, 1938, and that was dedicated to world peace. So it started out as Armistice Day for World War I. And then, believe it or not, this is something I did not know. The first Veterans Day was in Birmingham, Alabama in 1947. And it was organized by a World War II veteran named Raymond Weeks. And he was, like I say, a World War II vet. And he wanted it to be a day of national celebration and parades for veterans.
Okay.
So that must have went on since like 1947. And finally in 1954, the word armistice was struck out and replaced by the word veterans. So on June 1st, 1954, November 11th, it became Veterans Day, and it's, I think, 68 years old now.
Yeah.
Veterans Day. So that's just a little history. How did I do, Dave? All right?
You did very, very well. and generally speaking, the reason why it was Armistice Day is that the war didn't really end. It was just a cessation of hostilities. Most historians will tell you that the war resumed in 1938 when Hitler started invading the other countries like Poland and things like that. That there was that the World War I had so devastated Europe that there never was really peace and stability in Europe, and it ended up with another World War.
Mm-hmm. And like they had said, now that you say that, I remember they said Veterans Day because they wanted to honor what was the largest mobilization of troops after World War II.
Yeah.
They said it was, just historic in that nature. But okay, as far as what's going on the post today, we're going to be down there, of course, on Veterans Day, and we got some some light lunch food and things like that, and we're going to have all our veteran members down there having a grand old time. While we never turn away a vet. You're more than welcome if you're a veteran to come down and join us. And it's a great opportunity for you to come down and see what we're all about. And come on down and meet all of us and pick up an application and join. And, it's a great day. Today will be a great day to come down if you're scratching your head wondering, gee, I should have gone down there sooner. Well, come on down today. You're more than welcome. Thanksgiving Day, we're going to be doing a meal for veterans. And the only thing we ask is that we're buying some turkeys and we're buying hams and we're buying all this stuff. And if you're going to come down, and you're more than welcome as a veteran, please give us a call. Because what we wouldn't want to do is start having our meal at noontime, and then all of a sudden we get 150 people pour into the place and we run out of food by 12:30.
Yeah.
Right? So if you could do us a favor, if you're a veteran, you are more than welcome to come down for Thanksgiving.
Just tell us ahead.
Yeah, let us know ahead. Give us a call. The post number is 401-766-7585. Once again, American Legion Post 85, 401-766-7585, and you'll be more than welcome to come down for Thanksgiving. We just want to make sure we have enough food.
All right.
And one other thing, mark this date if you're a veteran. On Saturday, December 10th, we are having a Veterans Resource Day. That's going to be from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., and we got a free breakfast for the veterans. And we're going to have representatives from various federal, state, and community resources. And all those groups will be on hand to speak to veterans about some of the benefits that you may not know about, or if you're having problems getting your benefits, I'm sure these people can help you out. So once again, Saturday, December 10th for our Veterans Resource Day down at Post 85.
And I'm also reading here, Rich, on Post 85 posted this about a minute or so ago on Facebook, that the American Legion National Vice Commander, Paul Kennedy, will be visiting Post 85
No kidding.
on November 13th around 1 in the afternoon.
Gee,
Sunday.
nice to know. I'll have to,
Well,
I'll take-
I'm
I'll
saying
have
they
to-
just posted it.
It's
I mean,
hot
minutes
news.
ago.
It's hot
Really?
news.
Well,
Right
if
off
it
the
was
presses.
breaking news.
If it was posted by my commander, Bob LaFord, he's down in Florida right now, so I'll have to have a little conversation with him, but not prepping me before this morning's show.
Maybe you just found out about it seconds ago. So I just wanted to put that out there. So now you know. Okay.
Thank you. Yep.
All right. We're coming back with more of Coffee In. This segment of the Coffee In program has been sponsored by the Valley Breeze newspaper.
Since its founding in 1996, the Valley Breeze has been the trusted source for local news in the Blackstone Valley. Our readers and advertisers understand that shining a light on all aspects of our communities and doing it with some of the best local journalism anywhere makes these cities and towns better places to live in. We believe that truth has value and should triumph over rumors and misinformation. See valleybreeze.com or any of our 5 editions for more on how you can be part of this local news success story.
For an Allstate agent, providing protection options that fit your life is something they take, well, personally. Allstate agents are committed to learning about your needs and helping customize protection to meet them. From bundling your home and auto insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage, your Allstate agent can help build an insurance proposal that fits your life. And just as important as learning what you need is learning what you don't. Because helping you get coverage you want with savings you deserve is what Allstate is all about. It's time to get coverage that's catered to you. Are you in good hands? Call Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. One telephone number, 765-5000. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
It was your father's leather chair and his father's before that. It's where you can sink back from a busy day and enjoy some well-crafted comfort. Which is why you also choose Bank Rhode Island. Because with the straightforward delivery of services and our commitment to serve with integrity and trust, you have a bank committed to craft the comfort of a better banking experience. It's banking well crafted from Bank RI. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You're invited to the 2nd annual Holly Jolly Christmas Bazaar at St. Joseph's Church in the Good Shepherd School Gym, Saturday, November 19th from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Get some Christmas shopping done by browsing the flea market with handmade craft baskets and other assorted baskets. The Holly Jolly Christmas Bazaar will also have a fresh baked goods table, a kids craft corner, raffle baskets, money tree, yard sale items, and Santa's Attic. And speaking of Santa, take your picture with Santa Claus from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The 2nd annual Holly Jolly Christmas Bazaar from St. Joseph's Church in the Good Shepherd School Gym, 1210 Menden Road, Woonsocket, Saturday, November 19th, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Please stop by. It is Coffee In here on ON AM and FM. Joe Callahan here, along with Dave Richards, Melissa Murray, Rich Elaine. And Melissa, this next story is kind of amusing, and it's kind of up your alley.
She'll be the judge of that, Joe.
Okay. This took place in Morganfield, Kentucky. All right. Mike Moore and Suzanne Carr are running for the Morganfield City Council. They each received the same number of votes. They counted, they recounted, and they recounted again, and they come up even.
Deadlock.
So what do you do? What do you think they did?
You go to the charter.
Wow.
No, well, yeah, but what's in their charter? What do you think they did
What's it?
to decide?
Tell me they didn't flip a coin.
They flipped a coin.
I was just going to say that.
They flipped a coin. A coin toss decided the winner between
That-
Mike and Suzanne.
That's wild.
I don't know how it decided. Maybe because they went, okay, ladies go first. They let Suzanne call and she called heads, but it was tails, and Mike Moore was declared the winner to be on the Morganfield City Council by a coin flip.
How many votes did each one get? Do you
I
know?
wish they told us. It doesn't
Okay.
tell us in the story.
Because, like,
Oh,
was it 7-7 or was it,
It-
I mean,
why did it just come down to those two?
Right,
I don't know. Maybe,
right, maybe-
like here in Woonsocket, we have 7, and the 7th person each got 500
right?
votes.
What do you do?
What do you do, Dave? What's in the Woonsocket City Council City of Woonsocket charter? If it's a deadlock,
two deadlocked for 7th
I know you
place,
don't know.
Do you have a run? Yeah.
Do you have a runoff, or do we flip a coin?
The flip of the coin thing sounds a little bit out there, but the answer to the question you asked me is I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't think you would, but
I've never had that happen.
no, when it comes the exact same number. All right, count it again. All
I
right,
just
count it
have
again.
to go and look it up and
Look it up.
refer to
I
it.
wonder if they have a provision.
That town is probably
I
the
know of.
size of,
Well, yeah.
one street light maybe, and
Sure.
so.
Didn't
That's-
have a really good provision on how to remove somebody from office either, so don't go harshly on them.
But can you imagine, Melissa, losing your election by the flip
A
of
coin toss, I
How
would.
distressing. But I'm saying they must have agreed to it. If it
Sure.
wasn't in their charter,
Sure.
do you want to go with this? Do you want to go with darts?
Well, it's husband and wife, right? It was husband and wife, right?
Well, they don't. No, they don't say that.
No?
It's two different names.
Oh, is it two different names?
Mike Moore and Suzanne Carr.
Oh, okay then. Well,
So-
that's kind of wow.
A duel.
Have a duel. Wow.
Who knows, right? What do you do at that point?
That's a little extreme.
I know. Obviously, I was joking.
Wow. But okay. I brought this up earlier to Dave, and we kind of laughed a little bit about it. But the Rich, the Houston Astros won the World Series.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So they had, as cities do, they have a parade for their team, and on one of the vehicles is Senator Ted Cruz, and someone in the crowd threw a can at him. Now they thought it was beer. It turns out it was a full can of hard seltzer. So it's still a 12-ounce.
As opposed to
Project-
soft
oh,
seltzer, which
Which
would
would have really hurt. So, but he was able to duck out of the way. They were able to point out who threw it, and the person was arrested. And his name is Joey RCD Ancono. I think I'm saying that right. So here's his defense. What do you think? You want to go with what his defense is?
Oh, I'm dying to hear
His
this.
lawyer came up with this. Melissa, you want to take a
okay,
shot at
he-
what the defense was?
Go ahead.
Didn't like
He
the
looked
cider.
thirsty.
No.
Look, I like
That's
that
it.
one, Dave.
That's his defense. I was trying to offer him a drink
Wow.
from 50 feet away.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Overhand.
fire it at you.
Wow.
So that's the defense they used. He's being charged, by the way, with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Now, I was arguing with Dave. If you get hit in the head with a can of hard seltzer, could it kill you?
Yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah.
Sure.
There you go, Dave. See,
50
Dave
feet away.
doesn't think so.
No.
Would it, if it hit you in the temple, or
I think
like,
it could kill you.
I
But
think
Dave's
it could.
like, no.
It's such a far stretch. I think that he can get off on that if they had just got him on assault, then or felonious assault or something like that. I think that would have zipped right through to a conviction. But I think you've given a sharp lawyer something to argue with.
I don't know if
you
this
say
guy's that
deadly
sharp,
weapon.
by the way.
Well, I mean, if
But
it
then
hit if it hit him and he fell off of the
Yeah.
float and then hit,
And if
right,
you stood out in
it
the middle
could-
of a field and a lightning bolt hit you, you would be simply dead.
Well, then this would be up to the DA down there in Houston
Yeah.
to file that kind of charge.
I mean, either way,
Hmm.
it we just see so much political nastiness, and it's
Yeah, if you
just
don't like
so
Ted Cruz, just-
unfortunate. Happened to me on election night. It was somebody was like yelling at me at my own
Yeah.
celebration, but it just you can't. That is not the way to solve problems.
Somebody was yelling at you.
Yes,
I should have been there.
it's good that you.
I would have helped.
I know. See, that's. I just
No,
was like, nope. It's all good.
I heard about the story. I was there on Tuesday night, but I wasn't there when this happened. But I heard about the story, Rich, and no, you wouldn't have done any good because the person's spouse was there and they couldn't do any good.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
well.
No, see, I disagree.
So I don't
Rich,
think that you would
have done some good.
You would have helped the situation.
Sir, let's go talk outside.
Sure, yeah,
Right,
come on,
right,
come on.
right.
We
Did
could,
I clean that up good
Yeah,
enough?
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah,
Attaboy,
yeah.
attaboy.
So, my parting comment was, everyone be kind to each other, please.
Well, Rich is going to be kind as he helps him out the door.
that's right. That's correct. That's correct. I can escort somebody without too much physical force. You notice how I said too much.
Too much. That's right. All right. So that's that's what's happened with the coin flip, and they happened with
That's
the.
just wild. I
and
can't get over it.
The can of seltzer. I was just offering it. He looked thirsty from 100 feet away, so I better throw him a can.
You know, Melissa, you
Nice
just
try.
mentioned though, it's sad today. And they've talked about. I don't care what Democrat, Republican, Libertarian. I don't care what party you are. The the violence that goes on between.
Lack of
oh my
respect
God.
and lack of
Yeah.
decorum.
Yeah, because
right?
I heard you all,
So-
you mentioned earlier about they used to give a call to the candidate that got defeated, or and say congratulations, we're going to work together. You don't see that anymore.
Don't.
Everybody is so far on their left or right side or whatever, and it's really, really sad. And the one I saw it the most and that bothered me the most on the national side was the John Fetterman one. Now I'm not a backer of Mr. Fetterman. I think a better choice could have been made, but for people to attack him viciously after having a stroke. I mean, you can disagree with the man politically, but don't go
Sure,
after a
sure.
physical disability. If it's politics, you don't like that. But geez, the guy had a stroke. And you got to feel bad for him for that. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
and it's hard sometimes when people come at you and people get very personal. I've had that experience many times. And get
And
mad
yes,
about
and
it, but you can't. You have to try not to take it personally, and then lashing back doesn't help. Doesn't mean that I won't defend myself if somebody says something that's not true or appropriate, but.
Well,
It's
Melissa,
just hard.
I'm happy to.
It's
I'm happy to
hard.
see you. I'm happy to see you got back in. I will say this: you have been a supporter of not only Post 85 but of veterans, and I really appreciate you for that. And I thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I have three brothers that are veterans, and many family members. I think every single generation since we came to the United States has been has served.
You talk about violence is not the answer, and you see it here in the political ring, but it's also happening outside of that as well. And I'm going to bring up two examples. We right down here in Park Square, the guy that allegedly drove his Jeep
right.
or his stolen car through the door at the family tree, and then chased after the manager because they fired him. I don't know if you've ever been fired. Yeah, it's distressing, but geez, you don't go after it. And now there's another story. This is out of Pennsylvania, at a Taco Bell. And Taco Bell says it's shocked and saddened to hear that a manager at one of its Western Pennsylvania restaurants allegedly shot and killed an employee. Usually it's the other way around. But the manager is going after the employee. Arrest records show the shooting happened in Scott Township in the Pittsburgh area following an argument between the manager and employee who had written up over company policies. But that's what the managers do. If you're not doing things correctly, they, we're going to write you up and put it in your file. So
Not shoot you.
yeah, but then, something happens. The manager surrendered to police last night, and they've charged with homicide, firearms violations for the shooting death of Doreen Carver. So that was Doreen Carver's the employee. We don't have a name for the manager that was arrested.
Now I'm wondering, and I'm not trying to be, make it fun, but I'm wondering if the manager was on the clock at the time, because then I would imagine a lawsuit could ensue to the company.
It doesn't
right?
say
To Taco Bell corporate if he was on the clock at the, if it happened.
Well, it doesn't say
Yeah.
if the shooting happened at the Taco Bell.
Yeah.
You assume that by reading we only have a few sentences. You assume off the bat that it did.
Yeah.
But quite possibly it did. It didn't. It just happened offsite
Yeah.
somewhere. But you just don't know. But that's what it comes to sometimes, and you can see why. You just don't want to say any negative, bad words to an employee. They're just going to go off the handle. Or now it's the other way around. You get into an argument, you have words, and bang.
I've found myself calming down in the last year. It's just,
well, good for you.
it's like there's nothing you can do about it, You just try to make good memories, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Try to make some fun memories, some good memories, and, don't let all this stuff on the outside. Try to be a better person. Treat somebody how you want to be treated,
Absolutely.
But in my case, it might not be a good idea.
Well, you don't want to be like this guy in Memphis, Tennessee. He's charged with allegedly kidnapping a woman over a lottery ticket. It's probably a Powerball ticket. Police say Dontrell Haynes kidnapped his ex-girlfriend from the home they used to share after getting angry she would not give him a lottery ticket he paid for. The victim told police that he broke into the home before beating her, putting her into his car, and then driving off. Officials say Haynes also assaulted 4 deputies after his car was tracked down. So he's due in court. He faces almost 15 charges, including burglary, kidnapping, and assaulting a first responder.
Over a lottery ticket.
Over a lottery ticket.
Yeah, that's like saying, Rich, go. Here's $5. Go
They
buy
don't
me a
even
lottery
say if
ticket.
it was a winning.
Doesn't say. And then you come back, you don't give it to me, and now we fight over it.
Wonderful.
And I throw you in the car,
Wonderful.
and now I've kidnapped you because you won't give me the lottery ticket.
Unreal.
I wish it said if it was a winning lottery ticket
Right.
or
They just
non-winning.
wanna give you
Is it
just
just
like
is it just a scratch ticket or what? So
Yeah,
it doesn't
Right,
say.
right,
It never
right.
ceases-
Hopefully it wasn't. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter how much it was. Was it a $2 scratch ticket or
It doesn't. It doesn't say.
Where do you
$10,000 winner?
where do you find these things?
Oh, we
There's
pay so much money for this high-level news organization that just sends us this fun stories from around the country.
Yeah.
And sometimes Rhode Island and Mass ends up on these stories too. So
Oh boy.
You've got to find some more animal stories of animals that I don't want to.
bats and snakes.
Yeah,
and,
bats and snakes and things like
and
that.
spiders. I have no animal stories. The New Jersey annual bear hunt will be returning next month. So if you want,
That's
to
good news.
Bears,
Yeah, bear. There you go.
New
Right on the Jersey.
You're good to go.
Where are the Bears in New Jersey?
They're right on the turnpike.
Right on the turnpike. Yeah.
All right, we got to go. We've wrapped things up here for the Coffee and program. Our thanks to Dave Richards, who was here. He's going off. He's going to set things up for our Veterans Day celebration down at the event. That's going
Yep,
to take
I
place
will
at
be
Dave's
there.
Avenue. Melissa will be there. Thanks for coming in today, Melissa, by the way.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. It's great to be back
All right.
to normal.
Rich, and then you're going on vacation.
Yes, right.
Rich
Yes.
Elaine, thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Happy birthday to the Marine Corps. Happy Veterans Day to all my veterans out there. Come visit us down at Post 85.
Very good. This is Joe Callahan. Have yourself a great weekend. Happy Veterans Day, as always. And stay tuned for Gary Smith and the crew with Do You Remember, coming up at 9:30 here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news. A 12-year-old North Kingstown girl reported missing is now safe. Police